Greetings from Florida. Here we're working on a 2007 to 2010 Chrysler Sebring sedan. This is the right front, clips at double speed. You've got 3 Torx 20 screws. One under that plastic lip right there. And one under that plastic cover behind the chrome pull handle. If you need these, you can probably find them on my website, upanddownmainstreet.com. I took off that cover that covers the side view mirror. Panel pops out pretty easy. And you've got to, you can remove the entire chrome handle. You don't have to unhook it. You can just take the whole thing out. And then you obviously you're going to unplug the wiring harness that goes to the switch. We're going to take out the speaker. Also, I believe Torx 20s. You're going to take off the 3 screws that hold that black plastic box on, because there's a bolt behind that. Take off the motor. Torx 30s. Access right there. Somebody had locked the window up prior, so I took out the 2 screws that hold the window in place. So now the trick is to bring it down enough to get access to the 2 tabs that hold the glass on. Now this is a little bit unnerving because you've got to hammer these tabs off through the glass. Obviously, it's best not to break the glass. You can do it. You're just going to have to hit it straight on, and then you can use your hand to pull it down from the back, or you can use an awl to push it down from the front. And I'm trying both methods here. Taking out all the 10mm bolts that go around the black panel. You don't need to replace the entire panel, just the regulator inside. Again, upanddownmainstreet.com if you need these. If you find the video helpful, do me a favor, like, L-I-K-E, like the video. That'll help other people such as yourself find it on YouTube, and thank you. What I'm doing there is reaching in and trying to get that plastic plate off that side of the glass. Little WD-40 on the 2 up and down channels on the side. And there's the regulator, a part of the regulator. And there's the new regulator. And there was an issue with this regulator too, and this wasn't even one of the ones that we sell. This was actually a dormant part. I needed it right away. Um, the glass did not go down the additional quarter of an inch. The customer was fine with it. I offered to get him a Chrysler part, but he didn't want to spend the extra money. You'll probably see when all is said and done. I'm just putting in a couple of those 10mm bolts just to hold the panel in place while I get the regulator installed. Now you got to line up the brackets with the two bolts, Torx 30s, with the two where the two bolts are going to go. And it's not as hard on one side, not as hard on that side because I've got the gear that the motor goes into on that side, and that also goes in. This one is a little more challenging to get in. A lot of times you can use a punch and awl to line up that hole, but you'll see this took me a few minutes. By the way, in theory, Chrysler wants you to remove the entire latch and the outside handle and remove the entire black plate, that whole thing to change this. It's not worth doing, trust me. There's a lot more work involved in that. There were some cars you have to do that for, but not this one. And I'm using that punch, that awl, to try to line up the hole in the bottom. Another idea, if you're having a problem getting it in, try using one of the 10mm bolts instead of the Torx 30 bolts. They're longer, so it might make it easier. You can leave it in, or you can take it out and put the Torx 30 bolt back in. And now we're putting on the window motor. Again, Torx 30s. Don't over tighten it. You'll break the plastic on the other side of the regulator. Now that's the belt molding. Now the next part of this is also a little bit difficult. You've got to snap the glass into the prongs on the regulator, into the plastic prongs on the regulator, which involves pushing down hard, and they will snap in, and they did snap in. But even with that, it still didn't go down the extra quarter of an inch. It just manufacturer's, I don't want to say defect, but just not the same tolerance as, and this was, again, this was a dormant part, which was more expensive by far. I do have these on my website, upanddownmainstreet.com, which is a little bit less expensive than the dormant part. Putting the speaker back in, and I did have to clip out a piece of this video. I had a problem because I was talking to the customer, and I forgot to put some of the 10mm bolts back in. So it was another 3 or 4 minutes, so rather than keep you waiting and watching this, I just took that part out. Nothing you need to see. Matter of fact, I think I've shown you everything you need to see. If you have any questions, ask right here on YouTube. I'd be glad to answer them for you within a day or so. And thank you for watching. Have a great week.